exchange of the, the spiritual stream of mercy that enables us to dive deeper and deeper and deeper. So as we dive deeper, things are shown to us, things are revealed to us. We don't figure it out. We don't, find it in some old book that we discovered in a library. But we find it by diving deeper through service and surrender. And these things come to us. One day, by the vision of our spiritual advancement, we will find necessity for Srila Rupa Goswami's high books about the pastimes, so that we can properly engage. It may happen like that. And that's why he left those books. He didn't leave them for people who are still attached to mundane life, like us. He didn't leave them for those people to just vicariously read them and transpose their own conceptions onto them. He left them for the purpose of service, just as he left his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and his nectar of instruction. What's the Sanskrit for that? Upadeshamrita. And for the more beginner section. So we hear from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he's always a student, what to speak of ourselves.
If I can make a point,
yes,
my experience, even with the Shamrit, I was trying to go with the devotees, like we have to go through these books and we have to follow this instruction, and I lost everybody. When I said Jana Sangha that we should avoid materialistic people, and everybody laughed. Then I was trying to understand what is the I need something even less than, but I was thirsty for that book. I needed to follow these principles. This is so healthy for my own spiritual life. And then many people started quarreling with me in the class. They raised like, no, but this, and I said, oh man, I have to go even what should I say?
What was their like?
What about our affection for our family and this and that? And I said, okay, be affectionate to your family. Forget what I said. Oh, I'm joking. I tried to discuss. I said, no, this is not a question of affection. We have affection. We have affection for many people. Doesn't mean we have to associate with them and engage in their activities. We have to proceed in the activities that our Guru Varga are giving to us. But even though I gave this explanation, they became really frustrated and they left. Not everybody, but I mean, 2 or 3 or 4 people, they were like, oh, I can't digest that. It's too radical. You were fanatics and something.
It's a matter of transforming that affection, so that when you can still participate with people who you have that kind of, having become involved with lower affection, but you want to work to transform it to higher affection, without at the same time entering into the standard of that lower affection, right? So it's you can be with them. Yes. But you can't be the same with them.
No, I gave the example. My father was falling from the roof one day, and I was seeing, and he was calling for help. An old man falling. You remember?
Yeah,
then I told the example. No, you're a materialistic man. I'm not going to help you. So I said, I have affection for my father, for my mother, for everybody. Many people, not everybody, but many people. But doesn't mean I'm going to engage what they want me to be engaged. I want to be engaged in what the devotees, the real well-wishers. So I want that kind of exchange. But few people became really upset. Then I understood, and that's my question also. How can we make the bridge? We need a bridge, because I'm talking about something very far. It's like when Srila Goswami Maharaj was speaking about Allah consciousness level. Most of the people that I meet, it's not even in the Christian level of consciousness. I mean, the Christianity, like going to the church, participating, be charitable, be part of the congregation. As I feel, at least where I'm living, most of the people, like we used to say like a dozen of six. Like we had 12 people, but you don't have the 12 people participating. It's always 3 or 4 or 2 or 5. You know, that's our group. Then, you know, this bridge, you know, how to bring them up, you know, like we were brought by some ways, you know, by some mercy, and we got attracted to go deeper and deeper and more association, to be exposed to the purified agent, to be close to the devotees and to the higher Vaishnavas. But then when you say some basic instructions, that for me is basic, I need to follow Srila Rupa Goswami's basics. You know, control your tone, control the crazy mind, and the anger, the genital, the stomach, how you feel. This is how to drive your car. Without driving your car, how can you proceed your journey?
Yeah.
And when I told them, I was really frustrated. I was kind of, wasn't low, like, you know, I was full of people, the room, and then everybody, no, this is too much for us. Oh, then where I started from? Because when I joined the movement, I was a fanatic. Like, what do I have to follow? I'm not saying I was following properly, but I had it in my heart. I need to follow that. I'm still trying to follow the basics. I'm still working out in my foundation. I don't feel I have my foundation. But when you try to work it out with the devotees, this is too much. But I'm not saying everybody, I mean.
What can you say? People are not ready. Some people are not ready for that. But that is like the foundation. It's like if you can't accept the foundation, then how can you build anything else? You know?
Yes, it's like having a religion without God.
So anyway, sorry.
No, I think you're right. It's a crux of a lot of our problem is that we have to find a way to bridge to people who are finding us distant and reach out to them, whereas at the same time maintain the devotees who have come to a certain stage where they want to follow. We want to have Sangha on that level, you know, but we also need to have Sangha on a level of where we're more open to people who are they just have a little bit of a taste, and we want to encourage them to help them develop that taste. You know, so it's like both things have to go on. Yes, Manoj.
So we've heard that it's not so good to preach the high philosophy to the general public, but it's much more beneficial for them to simply engage in service. And we've heard that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his favorite method of preaching to the general public was to engage them in prasadam seva, master distributions of prasadam. And they would get some benefit from that. But when we received initiation from Srila Govinda Maharaj, at that time he said, "My Guru Maharaj has instructed me to give this mantra to the sincere seekers. I think you are a sincere seeker, and therefore I'm giving this mantra to you." So when you have a wide range of people who may be attracted to this all attractive Krishna consciousness at different levels, some of them are very attached to their families, some of them are very attached to material life, etc. But perhaps they're getting a little tired of it. All to those people who are fully dedicated and ready to surrender everything. And it's not a one-size-fits-all sort of a thing. You have to adjust your preaching method, you have to adjust your what you speak about, your topics, etc., to the particular audience that you're dealing with. We saw how when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was preaching to a large assembly that consisted of Brahmins, and he spent 3 days glorifying the Brahmin community, and they were very happy. But then he started talking about Mahaprabhu's conception. They weren't so happy. But for 3 days to get them prepared for that. So, because we have found something very valuable, and we're ready to surrender everything for that valuable jewel, we think that other people can appreciate that. Right? If you have one valuable diamond and you take it to the marketplace, and you try and sell it, and people have no understanding of what the value of this fuel is, and they all do 50 cents, $1 or something. But if you take it to a certified gemologist and they look at it and they inspect it and they say, oh wow, I'll give you $50,000 to $500,000 for this. So I've heard that there are 4 types of people that are attracted to Krishna consciousness. And each of them has their own reasons, which was also that those sincere seekers are the ones that are most fearful. Those who really have sincerity and they want to go back home, back to God. That will surrender. But that surrender is not so easy. Even Srila Bhakti Rakachidhara Goswami Maharaj, who was the Bhattacharya order of Brahmins, the highest order of Brahmins possible, Bhattacharyas. Even he was struggling with that surrender. And in 1941, he took his notes and he published a book, Amrita, just simply on that topic of surrender, quotation. And of course, our beloved Gyagi Maharaj blessed us all and given us the benefit of translating that so nicely into English in a very erudite fashion. So we can look at that. But for the general public, if you go to India, you'll see that most people over there are worshiping Durga, worshiping Kali, going and asking for some blessings in their lives that they can live very happily in the material world. They're not so interested in anything. They're very much attached. And one time I was going to a homeopathic dispensary in Calcutta, and one gentleman said, oh, you Gaudiya people, you're too much a sphere. You're not ready, maybe not ready for that. So, of course, if you take your particular position and think that it's going to apply to everybody, that they're going to be ready for what you're ready for, it may not be true. It may be too much for them. Maybe, maybe coffee is a little too strong for their tastes. And you have to give me a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. Was it something Maharaj said to Srila Maharaj? If I told them the truth, they would all run away.
Yeah, he said, go in like a pin and come out like a plow. So, yeah, Srila Prabhupada had that technique and that expertise to bring beginners into a position where they actually got absorbed fully in day-to-day service, but not overwhelming us with the, with the high aspects of how difficult Krishna consciousness really is. Just present it, just chant and you'll be in ecstasy forever. Yeah.
One day I heard, gosh, it was good.
Your life will be sublime. Chant Hare Krishna, your life will be sublime.
And I heard Ashura Maharaj saying, I heard that chant Hare Krishna and be happy, but I'm waiting. It was so funny for me. And he was like so sincere, I'm still waiting, he's be happy. I mean, we are happy, but not in the sense that we are, yes, we are singing the scriptures and the higher section.
We thought this will make us happy in our current conditioned state, and we'll go on carrying our conditioned nature and just somehow or other be in ecstasy. But then, particularly Srila Prabhupada sent us to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, who introduced us to the conception of die to live. And that conception reveals to us just what our task is and how until we come to the stage of actually like dying, actually like struggling to divorce ourselves from our ego, we really haven't touched on Krishna consciousness yet. We've got a shadow, right? The shadow is blissful. But now when the shadow goes away and we don't have anything, then we're in between and we have to fight and struggle to come to a state of purity. But at the same time, like you said, you use your smile. I'm not happy smiling, you say. Because on two things are going on. The ego is dying and it doesn't like it. And it's like, angry, pissed off at you. Because what are you doing? You're trying to kill me. I want to live. I want to enjoy this material world. And then you've got your other side. No, I want to dance. I want to surrender everything. I want to give to my guru from my heart. So, and then the battle commences. And a lot in the battle, the wonderful thing is, like you, Dave, the wonderful thing in the battle is that you have, right next to you, at your side, you've got like, machine gunners with you. No, like a machine gunner, like anti-tank weapons, to destroy the onslaught of the illusion. So you're not alone. It's so, you realize, my God, I can't fight this. This is just, I'm too entangled. There's been hundreds of births or something. I can't even get clarity in my mind. If I try to get clarity, it just clutter and then desire, then clutter, then desire, then, then something maybe, service. But, when we're surrounded with friends, they're giving us protection. It's like the onslaught is coming, but he's like, stopping them. And you're stopping, and here I am, But, somehow or other, we're all together. And so it comes down to our own initiative, but even far beyond that is how we associate, who we're with, and what is the aspiration of our friends, and who we hang with is like crucial. So like you're reading Rupa Goswami, don't associate with jhana sangha, with the materialistic persons. So if you befriend them, just kind of hang out and come to their standard, then you take what they have. You're taking their qualities and their, you're going in the direction of their karma. If you hang with devotees, then you get taken in their direction, right? And whatever direction you have, you contribute and help the devotees also. So it's like a wonderful, opportunity and exchange that we can have amongst our friends and devotees. It's much more than just an ordinary gathering where the police have gatherings, or the firemen have gatherings, or the hippies have gatherings. And people of like mentality come together. The gangsters have gatherings, yeah. The mafioso have the family come together, and also different such things like that. And they share in their similar energies and their similar objectives. And when we come together, we share in similar energy and similar objective. But there's the transcendental presence of the stream that's coming from our gurus that's involved with each one of us. And when each one of us is there, involved in that interaction, person to person, then we get the strength of the others. It's like Prabhupada said, you have a bunch of sticks, right? You can't break it. The one stick you break very easily. So, what's the schedule?
No particular schedule.
No particular schedule? Okay.
Check the calendar.
I'll read a little bit more until we'll have a little more discussion. Okay. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is in one way saying I've been given everything by my Gurudev. He openly said this in his beautiful verse, Nama Shreshtam Manam Api Shakti Putram Atra Swarupam. But he also expressed his extreme hankering and hope to obtain more mercy from Gurudev, that is, Srimati Radharani and Srila Rupa Goswami. This is the nature of Krishna consciousness. These two types of feelings are always present in the devotees' hearts. In one way they are saying, I've been given everything. And in the other way they are saying, I have nothing. I'm in need. So again, both things are going on. On my own part, I have nothing. I'm entrapped. I'm entangled. I'm attached. On the part of who is my Gurudev, and what is his mercy? What is the degree of his kindness? On that basis, I've got everything. So the devotees, this is the example that we're given. The devotees feel like that. And of course, to the degree to which we have that feeling of nothingness and everythingness, then we're able to enter into the depths of Krishna consciousness. But unfortunately, we think, yes, I have nothing, but maybe I could have that over there, or maybe I could have this. So we're still mixed in our devotion, in our approach, and we're not able to penetrate to the depths of Raghunath Das Goswami. But still, we can hear that and understand in the spirit, in his spirit, and try to see ourselves in that way as the soul, like who's within, who on the one hand, our hearts have got connection with our Gurudev, and we know that through that connection, it will never be lost, and everything will eventually come, depending on the degree to which we find nothingness in our material existence. And there's the rub. Everything is coming, everything is available, but we, in different degrees and in different ways, are not accepting that. So how to overcome that? Again, best way, sadhu sangha. Learn from the example of those who are surrendering, or in a position of connection with our gurus. Learn from them and be with them, and involve yourself in that energy, even though you don't have that same energy, you don't have that same quality. But involve yourself, involve ourselves in that exchange with the devotees, and simultaneously, working on our own consciousness to serve and surrender to our Guru. So two things happen. If anyone receives mercy from Gurudev, they will never feel it to be insufficient. Yet they will also feel that Gurudev's mercy is unlimitedly attractive and infinite. So the more they taste it, the more they will desire it, and desire to taste more. Because their hankering becomes greater and greater, and that way they feel, I'm empty, I have not received anything. The feeling of that devotee is, Tud Dure Tud Vantike. Vantike. It is so far, it is so near. So we're told that as devotion increases, you get closer to Krishna. And the closer you appear to get to Krishna, the more you realize how great is Krishna and how far Krishna is. So the great devotees are feeling themselves very, very far. Whereas in the beginner stage, beginners may feel, oh, I have some relationship with the deity, or I have some relationship with Krishna, I can feel Krishna or something. Sometimes we hear this from, at least I usually hear it from beginning devotees, thinking that they have some relationship it's there between them and Krishna. But actually, the relationship, any relationship that we can have, has to do with our own particular consciousness. If we're pure, we can have a relationship with Krishna. But even that relationship, if we're pure, will be through serving life, getting with Srimati Radharani. What to speak of if we're impure? You know, that relationship. What's it called? I forgot myself.
Some people think they have a relationship with Krishna, but
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Some people think they have. I was saying some people think they have a relationship with Krishna, but you know, it's not real.
Like Mirabai Singh.
Yes, without a guru.
Maharaj has some
Yes,
article.
yes. Without a guru, it's all kind of mental imagery, mental imagination. Like the certain sections of more like Mayavadi inclined Christians and others believe that you can't have any experience, and the only way you can experience God is to imagine God. So they think all revelation is imagination also. So they think, yes, Mirabai is the same as everyone else because everyone's imagining. But we can see by the grace of Srila Sridhar Maharaj that without guru, they're living in a plane of mental imagery and emotional feelings, which can be very great and very powerful, no doubt, and you know, ultimately may be beneficial. But without coming to a stage of contact with Sri Guru, there can't be anything real. Because the real thing is transmitted by heart in a subtle way, through the subtle stream of service, surrender, submissive inquiry.
Even Dhruva Maharaj
Yes, tell us.
wasn't accepted.
Yes.
Or Narayana told Narada Muni to go and initiate.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, even Dhruva Maharaj could not approach Krishna.
But the Lord gave him some hints,
Yes.
some taste.
Yeah. So
And then disappeared.
couldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
He was stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that way, we're kind of in that position. Our material ego self is stuck. We stuck ourselves. And I remember in the early days, I was always thinking, how can I trick myself? If I just put myself in this position, there's no way that my other self is going to be able to get out of it. So I'm going to trap myself in Krishna consciousness, which is one reason that I decided to get married, and then another reason to have kids. I figure if I have these and they're devotees, then I'm going to have to take care of them, and I'm going to have to be Krishna conscious. So, you know, a lower level of Krishna consciousness, but nonetheless, it was a calculated move to position myself in a state where I had to serve these devotees. Even I wasn't that much of a devotee. They were devotees, so I had to take care of them.
Omit everything to be tied.
Yes,
In all
exactly.
aspects of life.
Right, to tie yourself down. Yes. So generally, that is advised. But for people who can focus and dedicate, connect with the higher stream and make that their serving life, then that's the better thing to do. So that's why there's sannyas, because sannyas, the cloth that we receive from our Gurudev stands for the energy and the mercy of Sri Guru, and the position of renunciation and the ideal of service life. So there has to be some tangible ideal. And so in the ashram system, sannyas is there as a tangible ideal. Though Bhaktivinoda everywhere says, we just sang, whether you're in the forest or whether you're in household life, it doesn't matter. Chant Bolo Gauranga. Say Gauranga's name, say Krishna's names, wherever you are, engage in Krishna's service. But nonetheless, more or less secondarily, There are systems and an order of life that enable us to give our hearts, so that through that giving, we can be connected with that higher stream. So sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha is associated amongst sannyasis. As we're together, we associate together. And then sadhu sangha was also devotee families associating together, children, mother and father, hearing, chanting, discussing the philosophy, and growing in Krishna consciousness, and chanting the names, Gornitai, Nitai Gor, Gornitai, Nitai Gor. This is the reality. It doesn't ultimately matter. What matters is that we are endeavoring with sincerity to increase our devotion and increase our degree of surrender to our Lord, our Gurudev. Gurudev is the manifest Lord. That's why we hear in the prayers of Srila Chakravarti Thakur that the Guru is not different from the Lord. Yet inconceivably, he's the most dear to the Lord. So the Lord's the reference that we have in our fallen conditioned state to the Lord is Sri Guru. And by the Guru's grace, we get the deity so that we can engage in archana, to practice being a servant. That's what our archana is. You say, well, it's an ancient ritual. It's followed by the Buddha and Vaishnavas. That is according to, seen in an external way. Our archana is, much, much more than simply, waving a stick of incense in front of the deity or waving some flowers in front of the deity. Rather, it's a ceremonial manifestation of our desire to surrender everything to the Lord. That's from the Pancharatriki Vidhi. It's the system of Guru, and the system of sadhana, and the system of archana. All these things are given to the fallen conditioned souls to engage our mind and our senses and our bodies in activities in such a way so that we can develop our surrendering nature and serving nature. So Krishna has come, Mahaprabhu will come here tomorrow. But he's coming because Guru has brought him. And so we worship the line of Guru first. And Mahaprabhu is there, kindly benedicting us. And we bow down before Mahaprabhu and show ourselves to Mahaprabhu. But as far as seeing, we get the opportunity to see the beautiful form of Mahaprabhu. But really, all we can see is Sri Guru. The Sri Guru comes to us and gives us all these gifts. So the big gift we'll get it tomorrow. And, so that we can be more and more engaged in that process. So when the pujari is offering, he's thinking, please, Krishna, accept this. Let me give this incense along with my life to you. And the devotees are chanting, Hare Krishna, please, Krishna, let me give myself to you. We've heard that. Gurudev told us that when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we think, Krishna, I'm yours, and you are mine. Yeah, that's from Srila Gurudev. And how we can think that, I don't know, but he said it, so we can try. We can try to do that. Because Gurudev told, that's what you're supposed to think. So, think it, try to think it. But still, we're chanting the kirtan, we're thinking, if I only had a cup of tea, that would really go off. But we have this chance. It's like every instance of sadhana is a chance through different means to express our desire to serve and surrender for, us to become our gurus like dog. That's why Gurudev liked dogs.
One day I told him, not one day, 2 times I told him, because I felt that was good to say, yeah, I'm your dog and you just reject. And then again, and then one day they gave it, opened his eyes and said, this is back to, the tacos program. I felt like, because what I'm saying, this is back to the tattoo expression. It's like I'm born in the stool, this is his property. This is not something mental.
Oh, you got
his real.
You got some real mercy there.
And he would open his eyes.
Yeah.
This is back to the tattoo.
Yeah.
This size, and I never more told him and his dog. There was sometimes with him in his room alone, he gave something extraordinary. Yes, from nothing, from nowhere. Sometimes alone with him, and he turns to me and says, "If you can get liberated from the material torture, you're gonna be very happy." And then again, shut, to his own divine word, but not saying, something. Just get freedom, then you're going to feel so much happiness. With big eyes like this, it's like excitement. Yes, I had some fortune, but all my fortune came to friends. My friends gave me to him, like Rohini Shakti. I had to ask Rohini Shakti to give his permission to take sannyasi. That was the deal. So you can get her permission, I give you sannyasi. Then Rohini, I called for Rohini, and it was so funny because when I went to take sannyasi, I go with my mental stress, and I had to go to India. He was calling me, and I had a dream, and everything is so clear what he wanted from me. Then I went to India and I came to him like full of passion, talking a lot, like what I am. Then Gurudev was very difficult to come here, and he turned to me and said, I don't know if I'm going to give you something. Then I was like, oh God, I left everything.
After all this,
He was like playing with me, and then he said, if Rohini gives you permission, then I'll give you something else. Then let's call Rohini. Rohini, how are you? How is everything?
Guess what?
Yes.
I do the same thing.
And yes, you had to do it.
Yeah.
And Rohini was so happy. And she said, yes, of course. Then you call Gurudev immediately. Then she called. And I made the arrangement before because I felt Rohini, she had a big public followers as a yoga teacher and everything. And then I told Gurudev why he didn't make Rohini as Ritu. That was my idea, because many people want to take from her. And then she became the Ritu in the way, Tapasi Maharaj and Rohini. Then Gurudev gave 2 conditions. You have 2 conditions. If she allows you and if she transfers or in the position of Ritu for you, then I'll give you sannyas. Then I have to call it this. Nice. But Rohini is pretty much, she lives as a sannyasi. That's her life. She likes to be in that lifestyle, living in the countryside, in the jungle, and practicing yoga and teaching forest. So she was very happy. Then this is all through association. You get, something valuable. And then Gurudev and Vaishnava Maharaj. I'm sorry if I'm extending too much. It's so beautiful for me, for my life. When I was in Kolkata, because Gurudev told me, at least once in a year you should come to see Guru. Then I was like, that was my target. And for Brazilians, it's very difficult to leave Brazil. It's like thousands of dollars. But by his mercy, I made it. Then Gurudeva told the devotees around him, I was just spacing out around him, going to Kolkata, or maybe I will go to some Bengali classes, and I was like that. And Gurudeva, I want him here with me. But I wasn't. I was always flying away, flying around. Then Vaishnava Maharaj came and he grabbed me and he told, you understand what does it mean? And I was like, what? Gurudeva told he wants you around him. You should stay with him, like shaking me. So then I woke up and I started staying in his veranda and I started my body crack.
You slapped you or anything?
No.
Okay. Sounds like Vaishnava Maharaj, you just slap or something.
Like the dearest friends.
Me too.
Then my friends, all the devotees, they can help you to understand better the situation. Like Srila Goswami Maharaj all the time giving me instruction. Sometimes Srila Govindra Maharaj would speak some things around when we were there, and I could not have a clue. Then I had to go to Srila Goswami Maharaj. Said, what did he say? Could you explain? I need a translation of what he was meaning and trying to. And when I arrived, I was talking about you because this is so heart touching for me always to remember. When I went the first time to Chaitanya Saraswati Math, you were there with your family and Anjali and Mukul all that time and the boys, and it was like, you all welcome me because I was coming from this one. So I was.
Did you have a guitar or someone with you?
No, I was a boy.
Was a boy with you?
With us,
Okay.
yeah. He was with us and he had a guitar.
Okay.
And he played for Srila Gurudeva. He made a song and he played. So crazy. Like singing for Srila Gurudeva. He had like rock and roll style and it was funny. And Gurudeva was so happy with him. And the guy was in trouble. Then he went, he's a Jew. His family is from Brazil, but they had lots of relations in Israel. Then he moved to Israel, and now he's doing all right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a studio.
The Baltimore goes to Israel.
I lost the contact, but 2 years ago, I sent a message. Anyway, it was very sweet and very welcoming.
Yeah, it sounds, yeah. Well, I remember that. We ran down, I think we were told by Gurudeva. I think so. Make sure to get lots of combinations.
Yeah. And Siddhartha Maharaj coming and taking our luggage and making our bags.
That's the classic. Classic Siddhartha.
Yeah.
Only anything. Okay, any other comments or questions? It's 9 o'clock, I think we're in here.
Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Jalavaya Namaha
Hari Haraya Namo Krishna Jalavaya
Jalavaya Muravaya Keshavaya जय विष्णुपाद श्रील भक्ति निर्मल चरण महाराज की जय। विष्णुपाद श्रील भक्ति सुंदर गोविंद देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। विष्णुपाद श्रील भक्ति रॉक श्रीधर देव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। भगवान श्रील भक्ति सिद्ध सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर की जय। गौरंग राधा श्याम सुंदर जी की जय। प्रिय सेवक वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री चैतन्य सरस्वती मठ मंदिर छात्र की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। भक्ति विजय विग्रह महाराज की जय। भक्ति विग्रह नासिक महाराज की जय। भक्ति चंदन पर्वत महाराज की जय। श्रीनंदी भगवान की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
Come out, Yaji Maharaj.